Hare Krishna. Somebody can please lead the invocation prayers.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Krishna, go ahead.
I can do. Om Ajnanatimrindasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chakshurmittam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swam Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Savit Sajivam Sadhavetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahadagana Laita Shri Vishakhan Vitamcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevicha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. So today we will cover Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, verses 25 to 34, and we'll finish Chapter 2. Plus we will start Chapter 3. We will aim to complete verses 1 to 15 of Chapter 3 as well. Today's discussion is an easier paced as well as easier content discussion. But before we get into our verses, you all will explain one or more points and ask one or more questions from before. Somebody?
Prabhu, I will start. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Lord with our universe, in our universe, is beautiful in beautiful Shyam Sundar human form, suitable for his pastime in this material world, and no one was equal to him in any respect. His pastime never stopped like the sun, which never leaves the sky. It is always current in one universe or the other. His pastime in material world is merciful even to the fallen souls who are Nityabala, are conditioned forever. Displayed his internal potency Yogamaya by his spiritual energy, whereas in Vaikuntha he is in Swami Rupa, that is eternal form, is merciful towards liberated and Nitya Mukta living entities. I will stop with this. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I just wanted to add, a realization. We were studying that, the ornaments as such is not beautiful. When it's adorned by Krishna, the beauty is enhanced. So my personal realization, after that, whenever I went to the temple during this week, I looked at the ornaments, but adorned by Krishna, then only then the ornaments are beautiful, not as such, Prabhu.
Yeah, very good practice of what we study and realization. Okay, rest of you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I also had a question, Prabhu.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is that, examples of Shishupal, Putana and all, they had the mercy of Lord Krishna and they got liberated. So does that mean that they would have had past good karmas that in that particular lifetime, whenever they were demons, they got liberated, Prabhu?
So you are correct. So Shishupal will it's an upcoming chapter here in Canto 3. So Shishupal and his brother Dandavakra, they are actually Jai Vijay who got cursed. Jai Vijay are the gatekeepers to Krishna's Darbar. They got cursed by Sanatan Kumara. And it's actually Krishna's Leela. Krishna has a lot of affection for Jai Vijay. And we will discuss in, let me recall, what chapter is it? It's chapter 14-15 in Canto 3, where the Jai Vijay's history is described, where Krishna says, okay, you will go to the material world and you will be attached to me via anger. So this actually is a pastime or Leela of Krishna to have reciprocation with his gatekeepers, because Krishna also wanted to fight. I mean, there is no fight in spiritual world. So how does Krishna relish the fighting rasa or keep up with his body? I mean, his body does not decay, but he still has that requirement to also enjoy the fighting rasa. Therefore, he used Jai Vijay to go and live in the material world as demons, so that Krishna can come and fight. So Jai Vijay, they are same as Ravan and his brother, and Hiranyakashipu and his brother, and Shishupala and his brother. They are same Jai Vijay living in 3 lives, because that was the curse. Putana also has a history that in one of the life, Putana desired to kill Krishna, and in one of the previous life, Putana desired to feed Krishna like a mother. So in this life, Krishna satisfied both those desires, that Putana was allowed to feed Krishna, and with that same feeding incident, she also got killed. Or she attempted to kill, but she ended up getting liberated by Krishna. So there, of course, is history behind them. These are not ordinary demons. So they have a lot of history, not just 1 or 2. Putana also has little more history. I don't remember right now, but in terms of the question you asked, I described that is relevant right now. Does that help you?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, very good. Mother Jija wanted to say something.
Prabhuji, everyone is attracted by the beautiful form of Krishna, including Lord Vishnu. And the Lord took his Saumya Rupa when he disappeared, Prabhuji.
Okay, very good. Everybody is attracted. And this discussion will continue in our today's class as well. Okay, very good. Rest of you, questions as well?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. The second question, the result achieved by the soldiers. Because the soldiers in the battlefield, they got liberated within the split second when they were looking at the beauty of the Lord, when Arjuna's arrow was approaching them, because of they were admiring its beauty, they got liberated within that split second.
Yeah, so
even though they were against
just to
Krishna.
clarify the sequence. So first the arrows pierced them, and it was because of the touch of the arrows coming from the pure devotee Arjuna. It's non-different than Krishna's hand. The arrows have the same potency as Krishna's hand, and in that split second after the arrows touched them, they got purified, and just about when they were about to die, that they saw the beautiful form and appreciated the beautiful form, even though they were demons, but they got purified. Okay, very good.
Prabhuji, I want to sharpen my understanding. Therefore, I seek this clarification. In the first, the question number 2, compare the results achieved by Shishupala, king of Siddhi, the soldiers killed in Kurukshetra battlefield and Uttana. Shishupala, though he was envious, and he was killed by Lord Krishna, and he merged with the Brahmajyoti. And whereas in the soldiers, they reach to their devotional level, Goloka Vrindavana or Vaikunta planet. I want you to kindly sharpen these three things. Brahmajyoti is different from reaching Goloka Vrindavana or Vaikunta. It is a basic thing. I want to sharpen it, please.
Okay. So Brahmajyoti is definitely different. Actually, some of you should be able to answer Uncle's question. What's the difference between Goloka Vrindavan and Vaikunta Brahmajyoti? I have shown you visuals. Somebody should be able to answer.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'm not sure Prabhu, I can just try. Brahmajyoti, it's the rays which are coming from Krishna Prabhu.
Okay, are you asking or saying?
Okay, I'm saying, are they, no, I'm asking Prabhu, are they the rays which are coming from Krishna?
Yes, they are rays, okay.
So you merge with them, merging with the rays, Prabhu.
That is not necessarily correct. Okay. Somebody else, many of you
Is
should...
it effulgence? Effulgence.
Okay, hold on, Uncle. Hold on, Uncle. Let somebody answer your question.
Hare Krishna. Can I try?
Yeah,
Prabhuji, can I try this?
yeah, for sure.
And you wanted to know the difference between Golaka Vrindavan and Vaikunta. Am I right? That's the
Correct.
question.
Correct.
Yeah,
And as well as Brahmajyoti.
Yeah. In Golaka Vrindavan, Lord Krishna served in natural opulence. In Vaikunta, he served in unlimited opulences. That is one difference. And the total dedicated, like total enemy, I could say, and who is against of thing, Lord Krishna. Shishupala merged with by telling him, he merged with the Lord. He has taken him in his hand. And the others, admired at the lotus faces, and though they are neither enemies nor friends, but actual enemy they were trying to kill, but off-handed, off-minded. They are all taken to the Vaikunta. Am I right?
Okay, so let me answer. So I will show you the visual. So here on the top is Goloka Vrindavan. Then next is Vaikunta. These are spiritual planets. This line that you see, this is Brahmajyoti. Now it seems like a tiny line. It actually is a very big space. It has a lot of planets. And this Brahmajyoti is the dividing line between material world and spiritual world. So here at the bottom are spiritual world. So this is one universe, and all these bubbles are universes. So those demons, they generally take or get Brahmajyoti effulgence as their destination, plus the Gyanis, this is the destination they get. And pure devotees, they get either Goloka Vrindavan destination or Vaikunta planet destination, depending on their rasa. So pure devotees in the mood of awe and reverence, they will get Vaikunta planet as their destination. And pure devotees in the mood of love, they attain Goloka Vrindavan. So I will zoom in to show you a couple of things here. Go back. Let me go back. So I'll zoom in here. So you will see here that this is Shri Radha and Krishna. I mean, this chart is very big chart. It's a wall-sized chart, so you could see only small. So all these are planets in Goloka Vrindavan. And see Shri Radha and Krishna. So all pure devotees are here. For example, Mother Yashoda, Nand Maharaj, they are all here. And this Goloka Vrindavan is split into 3 parts. Mathura, Dwarka, and Vrindavan. Similarly, this Vaikuntha planets, there are all these innumerable planets. And here, Lord Narayan is served in his opulences that, oh, you are so great. So everybody is in awe and reverence of the Lord. And then is the Brahmajyoti. So it's written very lightly here. And this is the dividing line. So it, of course, is effulgence. Brahmajyoti is a very bright light. But it also is a space where there are a lot of planets and demons go and reside there and jnanis go and reside there, but there is no activity at Brahmajyoti level, therefore they fall down. So this one planet that you see is half bright and half dark is the planet of Sadashiva, not the Shiva in the material world, but Sadashiva. The half planet is in the spiritual world, therefore it is bright, and half planet is in the material world, therefore it is dark. And below are material world. Does that help you?
Thank you, Prabhuji. This is the first time I am seeing that visual which you have shown that. I don't know about others.
Okay.
Thank you.
Everybody on the same page?
Krishna Prabhu, I had one question. Prabhu, where are all the demigods?
I will bring up the slide again and I will zoom in to show you where are demigods. So if you look at this 14 planetary systems, the 7th plane. Now this visual is very small. I can show you another visual for the material world universe. The 7th plate is where Earth is, and the planets above are where sages and demigods are, and the topmost planet is where Brahma is, and the below planets are where hellish life is, and the lowest is Patal. So I'll show you another visual for this one universe. This is very small visual. It is just few plates above is where heaven is. So demigods are within this material world. They are not outside anywhere. Does that help you?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Everybody on the same page?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. I think, Prabhuji, Canto 1, 2nd chapter, 10th or 11th shloka, the 3 levels of Brahma Jyoti, Paramatma, and Bhagavan realization are being described. Is my understanding correct, Prabhu?
Yeah, you are correct. From Paramatma iti, Brahma iti, that's how the verse starts. You are correct. You are absolutely correct.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So just going back to showing a closer visual of the universe. So here is one universe I was showing you before. So here is Earth. It says you are here. And then here are the higher planets and below are the lower planets. So here it says Swarga Loka, heavenly planets. That's where demigods are. I mean, there are different levels of demigods. So all these higher planets, they can be at other higher planets also. But generally, it's this Swarga Loka or heaven is where demigods are. And the topmost is where Brahma is. Questions, comments, realizations?
One more clarification I see, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Shishupala, by virtue of yoga practice, he could merge with the Brahma Jyoti. So that part of it, could you elaborate? What exactly it means that yoga practice there?
So Shishupal did not do yoga practice. We discussed last class that Shishupal attained Brahma Jyoti, but other yogis and demons, they also attained Brahma Jyoti. So what's the big deal? It is because Shishupal got killed by the Vishnu form of Krishna. So we have discussed that the killing is not done by Krishna, except Putna got killed by Krishna. Therefore, Putna attained Goloka Vrindavan. But all other killing, including all the killing on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, was done by the Vishnu form of Krishna. So when Krishna comes, all incarnations such as Narsimadev, Lord Ram, Vishnu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are all within the body of Krishna. They all come together. So the killing is done by the Vishnu form of Krishna. And when Vishnu kills, the demon or whosoever is killed, they attain Brahma Jyoti. So Shishupal did not necessarily perform any yoga per se, but the comparison was to show that what's the big deal. Those who are demons, they also attain Brahma Jyoti, and those who are actually Ashtanga yogis, they also attain Brahma Jyoti. Not Ashtanga yogis, but Jnanis, they also attain Brahma Jyoti. So what's the big deal? Does that clarify?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
And understand that Shishupal is a special case, so you cannot really compare Shishupal with others. Everybody on the same page? Questions, comments, realizations? Okay. Okay, very good discussions. So we will now continue with Canto 3, Chapter 2, verse number 25 onwards. So just to lay some context for the previous discussions, that upon inquiries from Vidura, Uddhava immediately remembered the attractive beauty of the Lord and went into ecstasy. And Lord Krishna's bewildering activities are described, that they are seemingly contradictory verses. Actually, there is no contradiction. All such bewildering activities are only for materialistic people to get bewildered. For you all, it's not bewildering because you all are devotees. And we discussed at great length about the results achieved by Shishupal, the soldiers killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and Putna. That Shishupal attained Sahujya, liberation of merging with the Brahma Jyoti, but that merging was only in the eyes of materialistic people. Shishupal is one of the Jai Vijay who got cursed, and we'll discuss that they actually go back to their original position after going through the curse of living 3 lives as demons and getting killed by Krishna in one or the other forms. And the Kauravas were able to appreciate Krishna's beauty, even though Kauravas soldiers are demons, because they got purified when the arrows of Arjuna, the pure devotee, touched them. And in that split second before dying, they got purified and they appreciated the beautiful form of Krishna. And that's how they attained liberation, and they would have attained Vaikuntha planets, not Goloka Vrindavan. but still is quite a significant achievement. So verse number 25 to 34 is part 5, and the title is Synopsis of Vraja Pastimes. So devotees do not like to discuss disappearance of Lord Krishna as well as disappearance of pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada says that there is no difference between Krishna's appearance and disappearance. But devotees do not like to talk about the disappearance pastimes. Therefore, before describing the disappearance, Uddhava is first describing the appearance and the activities. Here in chapter 2, verses 25 to 30 are the childhood pastimes in Vraja. We'll read 2 verses together at a time and just continue that way. These are easy verses. These are well-known activities of Krishna. You all would also already know all, or if not all, almost all. So we'll read, if Aditi is available, our dear Aditi, we'll read Canto 3, Chapter 2, verses 25 and 26 translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. She isn't available, Prabhu. Can I go ahead, Prabhu?
For sure.
25 verse. The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, being prayed to by Brahma to bring welfare to the earth, was begotten by Vasudeva in the womb of his wife Devaki in the prison of the king of Bhoja. 26. Thereafter, his father, being afraid of Kamsa, brought him to the cow pastures of Maharaja Nanda, and there he lived for 11 years like a covered flame with his elder brother Baladeva. Hare Krishna.
So we already discussed in Canto 1, Chapter 8, that Kunti Maharani prayers chapter. Kunti Maharani says, you make the whole world bewildered. And Kunti Maharani gives 4 reasons for Krishna's appearance. First is because Krishna wants to glorify the pious kings. Second, because Vasudeva and Devaki did great sacrifices and Krishna appeared as son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Third is to reduce the burden of earth by killing the impious kings. And fourth is because Krishna wanted to establish real devotional principles so that conditioned souls who are suffering here can be relieved. So from these 4, the real reason for Krishna's appearance is to establish the real devotional principles and to reciprocate with his pure devotees. We had discussed earlier that in order to fulfill desires of Mother Yashoda, Nand Maharaj, Gopis, etc., hence Krishna had to be carried to Vrindavan upon appearing in the prison house. And Vasudeva, Krishna's father, also giving protection to Krishna by breaking the promise Vasudeva had given to Kamsa that Vasudeva will bring all the children to Kamsa so that Kamsa can kill. But Vasudeva break the promise for Krishna's sake. And this Krishna likes. Some devotees, some pure devotees may have reverence to Krishna. But in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna himself says this, that this devotees in Vaidhi Bhakti, Krishna does not enjoy. Krishna enjoys that devotees should protect him. Therefore, Krishna says that this Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, even though they are pure devotees, they don't really attract me like the pure devotees in the mood of love. Questions, comments, realizations? Mother Jija, verse number 27 and 28 translations.
Verse 27. In his childhood, the Almighty Lord was surrounded by cowherd boys and calves, and thus he traveled on the shore of the Yamuna River through gardens densely covered and trees filled with vibrations of chirping birds. Text 28. When the Lord displayed his activities just suitable for childhood, he was visible only to the residents of Vrindavana. Sometimes he would cry and sometimes laugh, just like a child, and while so doing, he would appear like a lion cub.
The beauty
Hare
of
Krishna.
Vrindavan is explained in the verses and in the purports, that how there are different fruits, gardens, all very beautiful description of Vrindavan is there. That how the land of Vrindavan is non-different than Krishna. Therefore, devotees offer obeisances at Mathura Junction, as a railway station, even when they are just passing through them, through Mathura Junction. So in front of demons, Krishna was like a lion. But for Vrajvasis, Krishna is just like a lovable object, a lovable small child. Krishna will cry for something and stop crying when Krishna gets the object. So very beautiful descriptions is given, but all these verses we'll go very fast because you already know a lot of this discussions. Mother Chandra Aunty, verse number 29, 30 translations.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. 29. While herding a very beautiful bull, the Lord, who was the reservoir of all opulence and fortune, used to blow his flute, and thus he enlivened his faithful followers and cowherd boys. 30. The great wizards who were able to assume any form were engaged by the king of Bodha, Kamsa, to kill Krishna, but in the course of his pastime, the Lord killed them as easily as a child breaks dolls. Hare Krishna.
The Vrindavan pastimes are continuing to being described here. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about Vedic culture, that Vaishya are meant to protect cows, and basically Prabhupada is talking about cow protection, that bull is a father and cow is a mother, and everyone should protect cow because we take cow milk just as we get milk from mother. And Prabhupada emphasizes that we should drink cow milk. And the analogy is given of a child breaking the toy, that different demons were sent by Kamsa to kill Krishna. But Krishna killed all of them just like a child breaks dolls without any extra effort. Okay. Gopal Prabhu, verse number 31, 32, 33 translations.
Hare Krishna. Verse 31. The inhabitants of Vrindavana were perplexed by great difficulties because a certain portion of Yamuna was poisoned by the chief of the reptiles, Kalia. The Lord chastised the snake king within the water and drove him away. And after coming out of the river, he caused the cows to drink the water and proved that the water was again in its natural state. Text 32, translation. The Supreme Lord Krishna desired to utilize the opulent financial strength of Maharaja Nanda for worship of the cows, and also he wanted to give a lesson to Indra, the king of heaven. Thus he advised his father to perform worship of Go, or the pasturing land and the cows, with the help of the learned Brahmanas. Text 33, translation. O sober Vidra, King Indra, his honor having been insulted, poured water incessantly on Vrindavana, and thus the inhabitants of Vrija, the land of cows, were greatly distressed. but the compassionate Lord Krishna saved them from danger with his pastime umbrella, the Govardhana hill. Hare Krishna.
Right. So Uddhava and Vidura are discussing childhood pastime. The Govardhan Leela is in this verse, how Krishna convinced Nand Maharaj to stop worship of Indra and do Govardhan Puja to break the pride of Indra. So tomorrow, coincidentally, is the Govardhan Puja day. Many devotees from this batch and other batches are also going to come to the temple to do services for the Govardhan Puja event. Thank you again. So Acharyas have commented that actually with this Govardhan pastime, Govardhan hill pastime, where Indra poured so much rain that Krishna had to lift Govardhan, and all Vrajvasis were under the hill that Krishna had lifted with his tiny finger for 7 days and 7 nights continuously. So Acharyas have commented that actually Indra did favor to Krishna, because all the Vrajvasis were constantly together with Krishna for 7 days and 7 nights. And all the different rasas were actually exchanged under the Govardhan umbrella. So Krishna was actually happy with Indra. And if you compare the two pastimes, so some of you who have read Krishna book, and I have described this, that if you compare the two pastimes of Indra pouring rain, causing Krishna to lift Govardhan hill, and simultaneously compare Brahmaji stealing the cowherd friends and cows, etc. from Krishna, Brahmaji actually separated Krishna from his devotees, and therefore it was an offense. But Indra inadvertently actually brought Krishna and the devotees together. Therefore, Krishna was actually happy on Indra. And therefore, after these two pastimes, where Indra's pride is broken and where Brahmaji's pride is also broken, Krishna actually did not speak anything to Brahmaji, because Krishna was not pleased with Brahmaji, that Brahmaji separated Krishna and the devotees. Versus for Indra, Krishna actually spoke to Indra. Of course, there's the other reason also, that Indra got the advice from Brahmaji, and Brahmaji said to Indra to take the devotee of Krishna. So Indra had taken Surabhi cow, and therefore Krishna simply melted when he saw Surabhi cow together with Indra, and actually spoke to Indra. And Brahmaji, even though Krishna forgave, but Brahmaji was not satisfied with the forgiveness. Therefore, Brahmaji says, I want to take birth in a low-class family, like a blade of grass, outside Vrajvas, so that the Vrajvasis and the Gopis specifically, they walk on me, and their dust of their feet is on my head, so that my pride of this high position is completely broken. Questions, comments, realizations? Shalini, verse number 34.
Hare Krishna. Text 34. In the third season of the year, the Lord enjoyed as the central beauty of the assembly of women by attracting them with his pleasing songs in an autumn night brightened by moonshine. Hare Krishna.
So this Ras Leela pastime is described, brightened by the moonshine. So up to now, what we have discussed, all these are Vrindavan pastimes. And chapter 2 ends, so thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 2nd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Remembrance of Lord Krishna. Canto 3, chapter 3 are Mathura and Dwarka pastimes. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, up to about chapter 55, they are largely in sequence, where Sukadeva Goswami is speaking about Mathura and Dwarka pastimes. And then Sukadeva Goswami goes into ecstasy. Therefore, afterwards, Sukadeva Goswami is not speaking in sequence, but Sukadeva Goswami is speaking whatever is coming to his mind because he is in ecstasy. Similarly, here, Uddhava will also go into ecstasy by describing these Mathura and Dwarka pastimes. Canto 3, chapter 3 is titled The Lord's Pastimes Out of Vrindavan. Canto 3, chapter 3 is divided into 4 parts. Part 1 is verses 1 to 9. Title is Krishna's Education and Marriage. Part 2 is verses 10 to 15. Killing of demons and the Kurukshetra war. Part 3 is verses 16 to 23. Krishna in Dwarka. Part 4, verses 24 to 28. Events leading to annihilation of Yadus. So here in chapter 3, the first 9 verses are on Krishna's education and marriage. We'll start with verse number 1. Uncle will read verse number 1 translation. So 3.3.1.
Hare Krishna. Text 1, chapter 3. Sri Uddhava said, thereafter Lord Krishna went to Mathura city with Sri Baladeva, and to please their parents, they dragged Kamsa, the leader of public enemies, down from the throne and killed him, pulling him along the ground with great strength. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna killed Kamsa for the pleasure of his parents. Now, question may come up, why Krishna dragged Kamsa? Acharyas have explained 4 reasons for Krishna dragging Kamsa. First, to make Vasudeva and Devaki happy, because they suffered so much because of Kamsa. So Krishna wanted to show that the suffering has come to an end. Second, Krishna wanted to assure demigods that Kamsa has had become very powerful, and Brahmaji had asked for help, and therefore here Krishna had promised that Krishna will come and help. So here Krishna is assuring the demigods by dragging Kamsa. Third, Kamsa was very powerful and very strong as well, that even 4 people could not drag him. Hence, Krishna dragged Kamsa to the river. And the 4th reason is Krishna wanted to drag Kamsa in the holy land of Vraja. Questions, comments, realizations? Chandran Prabhu, verse number 2 translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, translation number 2. The Lord learned all the Vedas with their different branches simply by hearing them, once from his teacher, Sandipani Muni, who he rewarded by bringing back his dead son from the region of Yamaloka. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So Krishna and Balram, they learned everything in 64 days, simply by hearing once. So Krishna and Balram are already learned, but Krishna is showing to all of us that we have to accept a spiritual master. We discuss in Bhagavad Gita 4.34. Anybody wants to recite 4.34 Bhagavad Gita verse? That's the spiritual master verse.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Is it Tadvidi Pranipatena?
Yeah.
Correct.
Tadvidi Pranipatena Pariprasnena Sevaya Updeshyanti Te Jnana Jnanina Tattvadarshina.
Okay, very good. That humbly inquire and do service. And Krishna is setting this example. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not need any spiritual master, but he is setting an example for all of us. And in the purport, Prabhupada also explains that all should go to spiritual master to get knowledge. Now, we also have to satisfy the spiritual master, and after the education was complete, Krishna and Balram asked their spiritual master, Sandipani Muni, how can we serve you? So Sandipani Muni, so this is a question that what general principle does Srila Prabhupada draw from the incident in which Sandipani Muni requested something which seemed impossible, that Sandipani Muni requested Krishna to bring back his dead son. Now, this seemed impossible. The answer to this question in terms of what principle Prabhupada is explaining, the Lord is constitutionally already well versed in all scriptures, and yet to teach by example that everyone must learn the scriptures from authorized teacher and must satisfy the teacher by service, the Lord himself adopted this system. Therefore, the Lord offered his service to his teacher Sandipani Muni. And Sandipani Muni, also knowing the power of the Lord, asked the Lord something which was impossible to be done by anyone else. So this is the second part also. That this is also a teaching from his example that service requested should be according to the capacity of the servant. In this case, the servant is the Lord himself. The teacher asked that his beloved dead son be brought back to him, and the Lord fulfilled the teacher's request. So the Lord is not ungrateful to anyone who renders him some service. So important learning that we all have to go to a spiritual master. And when the spiritual master asks us something to do, it has to be appropriate according to the ability. So the teacher could have asked, oh, give me few arms. But he's Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's capable of so much thing. Therefore, the teacher Sandipani Muni asked him something which was appropriate for the Lord and impossible for anyone else to do. Questions, comments, realizations? Okay, verse number 3, is Kalyani available, or is Aditi or Sridhar Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I would read on their behalf, Prabhu. Verse number 3. Attracted by the beauty and fortune of Rukmini, the daughter of King Bhishmaka, many great princesses and kings assembled to marry her. But Lord Krishna, stepping over the other hopeful candidates, carried her away as his own share, as Garuda carried away nectar. Hare Krishna.
So, important lesson from the Rukmani pastime is that Rukmani did not see Krishna before marriage, but she was still attracted simply by hearing about Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada explains that we don't have to try to see the Lord face to face. Just by hearing the glories of the Lord, we can also get attracted. We don't have to personally see the form of the Lord. Therefore, don't be eager to see the Lord. Rather, act and serve the Lord in such a way that Lord will come to see you. Shalini, verse number 4 translation.
Hare Krishna. Text 4. By subduing 7 bulls whose noses were not pierced, the Lord achieved the hand of Princess Nagnijiti in the open competition to select her bridegroom. Although the Lord was victorious, his competitors asked the hand of the princess, and thus there was a fight. Well equipped with weapons, the Lord killed or wounded all of them, but he himself was not hurt. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna is already married to Rukmani and Satyabhama, and here Krishna expanded to kill all the bulls to show to Nagnajiti that even though I am married, I can still expand and give association to you as well. So we are not going into the details of all these pastimes. They are described specifically, most of them in Canto 10. Here it's just the principle being described is that how Uddhava is trying to remember Krishna to pacify himself. Arjuna also did the same when Arjuna was coming back from Dwarka after Krishna had left, and Arjuna also remembered the instructions of Krishna to pacify himself. That's the learning without, therefore we are not going into details about all these pastimes. Questions, comments, realizations? Gopal Prabhu, verse number 5 translation.
Hare Krishna. Text 5 translation. Just to please his dear wife, the Lord brought back Parijata tree from heaven, just as an ordinary husband would do. But Indra, the king of heaven, induced by his wives, henpecked as he was, ran after the Lord with full force to fight him.
So Krishna had given Parijata to Rukmani, and therefore Satyabhama also wanted the Parijata tree. So these are not ordinary pastimes, but they are to give pleasure to Krishna. So Krishna took Parijata plant from heaven to give to Satyabhama, and Indra did not like Krishna taking the Parijata tree and wanted to engage in a fight with Krishna. So here's a question that what does the Lord's fulfilling the request of Satyabhama indicate? The answer is, the Lord is fully independent. The Lord cannot be henpecked. The Lord is not attracted to Satyabhama because Satyabhama is a beautiful wife. No. Rather, the Lord is pleased with Satyabhama's devotional service. And thus the Lord wanted to reciprocate the unalloyed devotion of his devotee Satyabhama. Another point is that the Lord is proprietor of everything. Hence, there was no fault on the part of the Lord, even though he took the Parijata tree from heavenly planet. Indra got inspired by his wives to run after the Lord to fight for the Parijata tree because Indra is henpecked and also a fool. Prabhupada uses a strong word. Indra is a fool. Hence, Indra listened to his wives and dared to fight the Lord. Indra is a fool because Indra forgot that everything belongs to the Lord. Why are you thinking that why did the Lord take? No, it already belongs to the Lord. So Indra is also a funny character. Comes up many times in Srimad Bhagavatam, again and again. Questions, comments, realizations? Verses 6 and 7 are about Narakasura. Mother Jija, if you want to read verse number 6 translation.
Text 6, translation. Narkasura, the son of Daritri, the earth, tried to grasp the whole sky, and for this he was killed by the Lord in a fight. His mother then prayed to the Lord. Then this led to the return of the kingdom to the son of Narakasura, and thus the Lord entered the house of the demon. Hare Krishna.
So Narakasura is son of Krishna and Bhumi. So Srila Prabhupada says that even a good person can become a demon by bad association. So here, son of Krishna has become a demon. Why? By bad association. We have discussed association at great length, specifically in Nectar of Instruction text number 2, 3, and 4. As well as we are discussing Bhagavad Gita 13.22 also. Karanam guna sangvasya sadasad yodi janmashu. That association is so important. Therefore, we always have to be in association of devotees. Now, this association of devotees, we have to also further associate with like-minded devotees. Other devotees at the temple, they are also devotees, but if they drag you down, then you just say Hare Krishna and move on. You do services with like-minded devotees, you associate with like-minded devotees, just as all the devotees from the various Bhaktivik classes, batches, they all come together and do services, including today. More than 10 devotees from the various batches are going to come together to do services. Why? Because they are all like-minded and there's no fighting, there's just cooperation. Everybody does one thing after the other in the sequence and try to help. So this association as well as association with like-minded devotees is very important. Questions, comments, realizations? Uncle will read verse number 7 translation.
Hare Krishna. There in the house of the demon, all the princesses kidnapped by Narakasura at once became alert upon seeing the Lord, the friend of the distressed. They looked upon him with eagerness, joy, and shyness, and offered to be his wives.
So Narakasura's hobby was to kidnap different females and imprison them. So Krishna wants to deliver all of them because these females know Krishna is the only friend. The females ask Krishna that because they were in custody of another man, therefore no one else will marry them. Therefore, you, Krishna, please marry us. And Krishna also fulfilled their desires. And not only Krishna expanded himself in these 16,100 for these 16,100 females, Krishna also made Vasudeva and Devaki to expand in 16,100 times to bless Krishna in marriage simultaneously. So everything is happening simultaneously. Everybody on the same page?
Yes, Prabhu.
Mother Chandra Aunty will read verse number 8 translation.
Hare Krishna. Text 8. All those princes were loaded in different apartments, and the Lord simultaneously assumed different bodily expansions, exactly matching each and every prince. He accepted their hands in perfect rituals by his internal potency. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna can take multiple forms simultaneously by Yogamaya, internal potency. When Brahmaji had stolen cowherd boys, cowherd friends of Krishna and the cows, etc., Krishna himself expanded as all of the cowherd boys and the cows, etc. Similarly, during Ras Leela, Krishna expanded himself into so many Krishnas. And each gopi was thinking that Krishna is dancing only with her. So therefore, Krishna can expand into innumerable forms by the Yogamaya, internal potency. Chandran Prabhu, verse number 9 translation.
Hare Krishna. Just to expand himself according to his transcendental features, the Lord begot in each and every one of them 10 offspring with exactly his own qualities. Hare Krishna.
A straightforward verse that Krishna had 10 sons and 1 daughter from each of his wives. And Krishna took responsibility for all very nicely, got them married. Very straightforward, nothing much to discuss in this verse. Shalini, verse number 10 translation.
Text 10 translation. Kalayavana, the king of Magadha and Salva, attacked the city of Mathura. But when the city was encircled by their soldiers, the Lord refrained from killing them personally, just to show the power of his own men. Hare Krishna.
So Jarasandha attacked Krishna 17 times. But Krishna did not kill. It's not that Krishna is not capable, but because Jarasandha kept bringing more demons again and again, and one of Krishna's reasons for appearance is to reduce demons. Therefore, if Jarasandha was killed at the very first time, then all these other demons would not have been killed. Therefore, Krishna and Balram, they're saying, oh, we are just sitting here at one place, and this Jarasandha is bringing all these demons, and actually Jarasandha is helping in fulfilling Krishna's purpose of getting all these demons removed from earth. Plus, Krishna wanted to give credit to his devotee Bhima, that it was actually Bhima who killed Jarasandha at the end. Plus, Krishna also wanted to give credit to his pure devotee Muchukunda, We'll cover Muchugunta pastime in Canto 10. I think it's chapter 54 plus minus one chapter, somewhere around there. Just as Krishna gave credit to Arjuna by making Arjuna the hero of Kurukshetra war, even when it is Krishna who assembled all of them and it is Krishna who killed all of them in bulk. Questions, comments, realizations? Verse number 11 is straightforward. Mother Chandra Aunty.
Text 11. Of kings for Sambara, Divivida, Pana, Mura, Balvana, and many other demons, such a Dandavarka, some he killed himself, and some he caused to be killed by others, Sri Baladeva, etc. Hare Krishna.
Straightforward, nothing to discuss. Next 5 verses is about killing demons at Kurukshetra. Uncle will read verse number 12 and 13 translations.
Hare Krishna. Then, O Vidura, the Lord caused all the kings, both the enemies and those on the side of your fighting nephews, to be killed in the battle of Kurukshetra. All those kings were so great and strong that the earth seemed to shake as they traversed the war field. Text 13. Duryodhana was bereft of his fortune and duration of his life because of the intricacy of all ill advice given by Karna, Dusasana, and Saubala. When he lay on the ground with his followers, his thighs broken, although he was powerful, the Lord was not happy to see this scene. Hare Krishna.
So this may seem a little contradictory, that Lord wanted Duryodhana to be killed, but Krishna himself is still not happy. Why Krishna is not happy is because Duryodhana is also son of Krishna. Hence, Krishna is not happy. Although Krishna planned the Kurukshetra plan. So I have a question for you all. From Bhagavad Gita, which verse says that all are sons of Krishna? So key memorization verse.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, the seed-giving father verse, Prabhu.
Very good. What verse is that? And would you like to recite, or even if you have not memorized, by looking it up?
No, I memorized, Prabhu, but I'm just trying to get the beginning of it.
Sarva Yoneshu Konteya.
Yes, Prabhu. Sarva Yoneshu Konteya Murtiya Sambhavanti Yam Tasam Brahma Mahadyoner Aham Bija Prajapata.
Very good. Very good recitation and remembrance. Yeah. So Krishna says, I am the seed-giving father of everyone. Whether or not one is demon or devotee, does not matter. And therefore, Krishna is not happy. So Krishna is softer than a rose for devotee and harder than a thunderbolt for wrongdoers. Okay. Gopal Prabhu, verse number 14 and 15 translation.
Krishna, text 14 translation. After the end of the battle of Kurukshetra, the Lord said, the abatement of the earth's great burden, 18 Akushnis, has now been affected by the help of Drona, Bhishma, Arjuna, and Bhima. But what is this? There is still the great strength of the Yadu dynasty, born of myself, which may be a more unbearable burden. Text 15. When they quarrel among themselves, influenced by intoxication with their eyes red like copper because of drinking madhu, then only will they disappear. Otherwise, it will not be possible. On my disappearance, this incident will take place.
So Krishna wanted to take all Yadus back to the spiritual world. So in later part of Srimad Bhagavatam, it's described that within the body of Yadus, there were two personalities. One personality is the internal associates of the Lord, and another is a demigod. So two personalities in each of the Yadus. So when the curse happened, which led to Yadu's killing, the Yadu members from Dwarka went to Prabha-kshetra. They became intoxicated. They fought and killed each other. Acharyas have explained that only the demigod portion within the Yadus, that demigod portion went to Prabha-kshetra to fight and kill each other. The internal associate portion, they stayed back and they actually went back to Goloka Vrindavan to their respective services in the spiritual world directly from Dwarka. Those internal associate did not fight. And in the verse, there's this word about burden of the beast and burden of the love. Srila Prabhupada talks about in the purport. Burden of the beast of demons is unbearable. And burden of love is of the Yadus. Krishna wanted to get rid of both burdens. Now, actually, Yadus are not burdens. Krishna is referring to burden as burden of love of Yadus, because they were all sources of great pleasure for Krishna. Hence, Krishna wanted Yadus back to their service in the spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada says that Lord and his associates appear and disappear by the will of the Lord only when the Lord desires. No one can kill Yadus because Krishna is protecting. And only when Krishna desired that the Yadus were killed. I mean, they actually went back. I describe what happened. And important point to know is that the Yadus already knew this, that this pastime is going to happen. And Srila Prabhupada says that they all acted as instruments of the Lord because Krishna wants to vacate the place. We'll read the verse number 15 purport. I mean, many purports are important. We'll just read this one particular one. Shalini, if you want to read 15 purport at a faster pace.
Yes, Prabhu. The purport. The Lord and his associates appear and disappear by the will of the Lord. They are not subjected to the laws of material nature. No one will be able to kill the family of the Lord, nor was there any possibility of their natural death by the laws of nature. The only means, therefore, for the disappearance was the make show of a fight amongst themselves, as if brawling in intoxication due to drinking. That so-called fighting would also take place by the will of the Lord. Otherwise, there would be no cause for their fighting. Just as Arjuna was made to be illusioned by the family affection, and thus the Bhagavad Gita was spoken, so the Yadu dynasty was made to be intoxicated by the will of the Lord and nothing more. The devotees and associates of the Lord are completely surrendered souls. Thus, they are transcendental instruments in the hands of the Lord and can be used in any way the Lord desires. The pure devotees also enjoy such pastimes of the Lord because they want to see him happy. Devotees of the Lord never assert independent individuality. On the contrary, they utilize their individuality in pursuit of the desires of the Lord. And this cooperation of devotees with the Lord makes a perfect scene for the Lord's pastimes. Hare Krishna.
So devotees of the Lord never act independently. I'll revisit this point that to explain why Lord referred to Yadus as more unbearable burden. So earth is never overburdened. The heaviest mountains and oceans on earth hold more living entities than there are human beings. There is no question of increase in population causing a burden. Earth became overburdened due to dharma glani, meaning fall of religious principles. Lord appeared on earth to curb the increase of miscreants, and not for that the population is increasing. There is burden of the beast, and then there is burden of love. Burden of beast is unbearable, but burden of love is a source of pleasure for the Lord. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes this burden of love very practically. Burden of husband on wife, when they are mating, and burden of child on mother's lap, and burden of wealth on businessmen, although they may seem like actual burdens from viewpoint of heaviness, are actually sources of pleasures. And in absence of such burdensome objects, one may feel burden of separation. When Lord Krishna referred to burden of Yadu dynasty on earth, he referred to something different than the burden of beast. When he referred to unbearable heaviness on earth in connection with the Yadu dynasty, he is referring to the burden of separation. Questions, comments, realizations? We will not cover any more verses today. The next section will start at our next class. I'll give you 2 homework questions. First, what does the Lord's fulfilling the request of Satyabhama indicate? Comes from chapter 3, verse number 5. Second, explain why Lord referred to the Yadus as more unbearable burden. Comes from chapter 3, verse number 14-15. Third question you would have already done, but if you have not read Canto 3, chapter 3, then finish reading this chapter 3. Any questions, comments, realizations? So is this pace okay for you all? We have spent a lot of time at the start of Canto 3. We had discussed this before in terms of pace. Everybody okay in terms of pace? I mean, today's class was really, really easy going.
Perfect, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
All right. Are we okay to stop here?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.